We welcome you to Lincoln, Nebraska. The hottest ticket in town is right here at Bowlin Stadium, where the Husker fans hope today is a celebration for this incredible Nebraska team they put together. 50 wins, but standing in their way is Oklahoma State with their backs against the wall and season on the line. A win, they force game 3, a loss, and they go home. 34 years for Rhonda Revelle. This just could be the one. Jordy Fromm leads the way, a generational talent trying to take them back to Oklahoma City. Welcome to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. The stage is set in Lincoln, and in just a few days' time we'll be in Oklahoma City. This one meets the winner of Arkansas-Duke. That game currently in a weather delay. Arkansas leading the series 1-0, trying to wrap things up today in Fayetteville. Alongside a 3-time national champion, Jenny Dalton-Hill, I am Chucky Kemp. It's all up for grabs here. Nebraska can go to their 8th ever Women's College World Series. For Oklahoma State, season on the line. You've got to be able to play with your back against the wall at this time of the year. Yesterday, they just weren't able to get their footing underneath them. A big reason for that was Jordy Fromm in the circle. Jordy Fromm, a generational talent, a top 3 finalist for USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year. This is what you expect from your star. 6 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts, using her rise ball and her changeup confidently. Most impressive was her speed manipulation, able to prevent a ton of solid barrel contact. Fromm understands the pressure of the postseason, now poised to get Nebraska back to OKC. First inning scoring set the tone for the Huskers. Jessie Farrell took Ruby Malin deep. Her 17th home run of the year put Nebraska up 3-0. And then back at the plate in the 3rd inning with 2 runners on, hard ground ball right back up the middle. It was a 5 RBI day for Farrell. While Oklahoma State was mostly quiet at the plate, they did get a run on the board with a blast by Carly Godwin, her 10th home run of the year, and then clean defense behind Fromm solidified the win. Now the most wins in a season since 2002, and 1 win away from advancing to the Women's College World Series. Fromm set the tone. She gives the ball to a top 3 finalist for National Freshman of the Year today, Alexis Jensen. And Alexis Jensen has had an amazing freshman season. Her ERA sits at 2.45, so she's vulnerable, but she's going to have to go up against Ruby Malin, the veteran in the circle for Oklahoma State. Frustrating day yesterday for Ruby Malin. Back in her home state, gave up a career high in earned runs. So can she bounce back and lead them to a game 3? Ruby trying to spoil the party in her home state. Nebraska, 1 win away from Oklahoma City. Huskers, Cowgirls, next. Lincoln, Nebraska at Bowlin Stadium. We are set for first pitch between the Huskers and the Cowgirls. Ruby Malin, the senior from just up the road in Omaha, Nebraska, where she dominated at Scott Catholic. The Oklahoma State fans were chanting her name as she came out onto the field, but it was a rough day yesterday. She is truly carrying this team, but in yesterday's performance,
She struggled in the circle. 2 innings pitched. It was the 7 earned runs. Nebraska jumped on her quickly.
Ruby versus Jordy Fromm to start things off. That's ball 1 high to Jordy. Let's look at the Capital One starting lineups for Nebraska. Fromm leads it off. She is 1 home run away from 20 home runs and 20 wins. Jessie Farrell in the 5 spot. Nothing changes as Fromm rips one over the wall, just foul in left field. That 20th home run would make her the only player in Division I softball history with 2 20 and 20 seasons.
Well, and it's like she was listening to you in that swing right there. When you see a pitch in your wheelhouse, a pitch that you're hunting, you've got to attack. Fromm did so, but just ahead of it, pulled it foul.
Played a year of travel ball together for Nebraska Gold. Won a PGF National Championship. Now 2 of the best pitchers in the country. Jordy led off game 1 with a base hit off of Ruby Malin and jumps ahead in the count 3-1 here.
So important to set the tone early. Fromm understands the pressure of what this time of the season means. But when it comes to Malin, she throws with a ton of velocity, uses that drop and rise ball combination.
Swing and a miss for strike 2.
So important for her to be able to locate her changeup. If she can get that pitch to hit for a strike, it's going to be a different day for her in the circle.
Ground ball up the middle. They played it well, and Jordy is retired for out number 1.
You've got to be able to look at your heat maps, figure out where pitchers or where hitters are going to spray the ball on the field. Obviously, looking at it, the second baseman, Carly Godwin, played that one perfectly back up the middle.
If you missed the beginning of this series, it was actually on Thursday. So really, if we're playing today, this should have been a game 3, but weather had other plans. So we only recorded 4 outs Thursday night, had about a 2-hour rain delay, and ended up having to call it.
And being able to find your rhythm and figure out what it's going to take to win a ball game is difficult when you sit in those weather delays. So had to pick it back up yesterday, starting from scratch.
1-1 count to the 2-hole Hannah Core. Just 1 year at Nebraska for Hannah after 4 seasons at Oklahoma. And what this team here in Lincoln is trying to accomplish, she has done 3 times, winning the national championship with the Sooners. And there was a base hit for Core with 1 away here in the first.
Core has taken Malin back up the middle several times in this series already. Loves to be able to just capitalize on a pitch left over the heart of the plate. And when you do so, and you tattoo it right back up the middle, really nice performance for Core.
Here is Hannah Kamenzind, best run producer in this Nebraska lineup in the 3 spot, takes strike 1.
I think that's going to be a really important pitch. If Malin can get that outside pitch to the lefties down in the zone, it's a tough spot for the lefties to reach.
That one drifts a little up and away for ball 1 to Kamenzind. Hannah and Lauren both on this team, twin sisters from Valley, Nebraska, and high school teammates of Ruby Malin at Scott Catholic High School. Strike 2.
That's the spot. It is going to have to be exploited. Malin loves the drop ball. She throws most of her pitches down in the zone using that drop ball. So if she can exploit that outside corner to lefties, inside corner to righties, that's going to make for a good day for her.
1-2. Oklahoma State fell short last year in regionals at Arkansas, which was a rare sight for a team that had made 5 consecutive Women's College World Series. Ruby with strikeout number 1.
And that pitch, we've talked about it already multiple times, down and away. It has great sharp break at the end of that pitch. And to be able to run that one off the corner of the plate is going to help her as she goes through this lineup that took advantage of her in game one.
Hannah Kamenzen was 2 for 3 yesterday. There's going to be a visit here from the pitching coach, Carrie Eberly-Parker, who was quite the arm in her day at Oklahoma State as well.
Well, to be able to understand what a pitcher is throwing in the circle is really important. You know she has velocity, so getting on time is pretty easy. But what you have to understand is as a hitter, you have to change your swing plane because she is a rise ball and drop ball dominant pitcher. Doesn't throw a ton of changeups, does throw them to make you aware, but she is going to fill the bottom of the zone and try to elevate to get the swing and miss.
Here is Ava Cusack, and of all the connections that Ruby has to this state and some of the players on this roster, these are the two that have probably stayed the closest over the years. Also former travel ball teammates. Despite Cusack being a native of Colorado, she started her career at Wisconsin. This is out into right field, and it's a scoreless first inning. A much better start for Ruby Malin and Oklahoma State.
Impressive start to this game for Ruby Malin. That strikeout against Hannah Kamenzen, her 800th strikeout of her career.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Well, the historic Haymarket in Lincoln, Nebraska was busy today. All that looks delicious. Should have made a stop earlier. Nebraska scoreless in the top of the first, unlike yesterday. So Oklahoma State coming to the plate against Alexis Jensen, the fiery freshman, another Nebraska native, and man, has she been good this year.
Well, she throws her rise as her bread and butter pitch and then uses her drop to both sides of the plate and creates great separation between those two pitches. Also gets good glove side run with her curveball away from lefties and inside to right-handed hitters. The changeup is not always located perfectly, but it freezes batters and makes her really difficult to attack in the circle.
24-2 record this year with a 2.45 ERA for Jensen.
And she will use that rise ball often. That is her pitch that she feels most comfortable with and uses it to different levels.
Faces Carly Godwin. Plenty of changes in the Oklahoma State order. Kenny Gajewski trying to pull the right strings right now in this starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One. One of those is Godwin moving up in the order, and she'll lead things off. Rosie Davis, another one. She moves from the 3 spot to the 2 spot. So Godwin and Davis, the first two to face Jensen, who jumps ahead 0-2.
When she learned a lesson from Ruby Malin, recognizing that the outside corner is getting called and exploiting it here in her first batter that she's faced in this game.
This is down ball one. Alexis Jensen has seen it all this year. She has started against the best teams in the country. She has beaten some of those teams as well. And one of the things Rhonda Revelle said is, you can't expect her to take this moment in stride if we haven't done it. She said, we begin with the end in mind as she flies out to right field. And the end in mind was that Jensen would be a massive piece of the success of this team, and she has been.
And by beginning with the end in mind, what she meant was early in the season, she put Alexis Jensen in to start some of the toughest games they had in pre-conference play to get her used to the emotions that would have to be in check here at the postseason as she and Fromm are trying to get this team back to OKC.
Here is Rosie Davis, who had quite the moment off of Jensen when these two met back in February. They split a 2-game set. The third game was canceled due to weather. Rosie Davis had 1 hit in those 2 games. It was a walk-off home run off of Jensen in the 11th inning. 2-0.
We're seeing a lot more power coming off the bat of Rosie Davis this season. And when we asked her about it before this Super Regional began, she said, you know, I think I'm just hacking. So going to the plate, not really having a huge plan, just swinging with a little bit more intent.
Strike one on the outside corner, 2-1 count. Asked Rosie, you know, what was it like last year falling short? What was the motivation this year? And she said, it sucked a lot last year, not making it very far. But she said this team is in it together and they will fight till the end.
That's one of the things that Coach Kenny Gajewski talked about, how he thinks he made a misstep last season, telling that team early that he thought they were the most talented Cowgirl roster he had put together. They didn't have to earn that praise, and he felt like at times they coasted through that season.
Ball 4, Davis is on with 1 out.
And walks is something that the pitching staffs on both sides of the field today are really low. And so when you look at the national average and the walks have gone up, one of the points of emphasis for both of these teams is keeping those free passes low.
Saw Davis try and pump up the Oklahoma State contingent in the stands. That's part of the uphill climb here, is that there's a few thousand Husker fans behind the team in red. Madison Hoffman at the plate. Someone who has just forced her way into this lineup, a native of Lee Summit, Missouri. It is bounced in, Farrell blocks it up. You will also notice something, some leis, some Hawaiian theme decor in both the fans and in the Oklahoma State dugout. It has kind of been their rallying cry in the postseason starting last week, and it is to ride the wave.
So while it is a double celebration, they also came in trying to play a little bit more loose here today.
That one does get away from Farrell, and Davis is up to second. Oklahoma State didn't have a runner in scoring position until the last couple frames yesterday.
They did not gain an advantage over Fromm yesterday until their 3rd time through the lineup. So here against Alexis Jensen, putting the pressure on the defense and exploiting the freshman.
2-1 count now to Hoffman. Kenny Gajewski loves her power potential. She's hit 4 this year as she swings through that. But as I mentioned, this is just her 9th start of the season. He said she's got a chance to hit 20 home runs in a year.
Just knowing the kind of power potential he has in her, he puts her in this spot to be able to hit runners around. And right now with a runner in scoring position, it's important for Oklahoma State to capitalize.
3-2 count. They are making Jensen work early on. She started 2 of their 3 regional wins last weekend. Lori Sipple, her longtime pitching coach, looks on Incredible career here as a player, too. Jensen gets the strikeout. It's a big one for out number 2, and that just broke Lori Sippel's freshman record for strikeouts in a season.
And when you think about the kind of record that goes down with that pitch right there, Lori Sippel has held that record for so long. A 65-mile-an-hour rise ball up in the zone, 13th strikeout against Madison Hoffman. Could not hold up on the rise ball.
That record has stood for almost 40 years. Lori Sippel played here from 1985 to 1988. She was a 2-time All-American. She was also the first Husker to have her jersey retired, as you see right there.
Trying to explain the levels of the rise ball, how the defense needs to react to that pitch.
This is into the outfield and down. Oklahoma State will strike first in game 2. Lexi McDonald delivering.
And Lexi McDonald, one of the few players not moved in the lineup from yesterday to today. McDonald coming through in a big way. 2-out opportunity and comes away with a big swing, just driving it right back up the middle. With a rise ball pitcher, you do leave yourself vulnerable for a ball that can sit flat. That ball looked pretty meaty as it came into McDonald, and Oklahoma State capitalized for the first run of the game.
Lexi McDonald wasn't a full-time starter until late March in their Big 12 series at Utah. But Kenny Gajewski said since they added her to the lineup, it's been a game changer for them offensively. Amanda Hassler has 64 RBIs on the season, one of the best bats in the order for Oklahoma State.
She had 2 home runs in regionals and has really been heating up at the plate here at the end of the season.
Had a 6-game hit streak snapped yesterday, but she was hitting 500 over the previous 6 games. Two and one.
And they know the kind of power that sits at the plate right now. Hassler, 14 home runs on the year, keeping the ball down in the zone. And with these misses, Lori Sippel, the pitching coach for Nebraska, will come out and have a conversation with her freshman.
This is all the things that Alexis Jensen has done this year and all the success she has had. This is still the first time for her in a super regional environment. They've had incredible crowds all year in Lincoln. I have a good feeling this one's going to set the attendance record. Maybe just a little amped up today.
Well, and when you have those emotions, you have to figure out how to get the butterflies flying in formation and not let the emotion of the moment get to be too big. I'm guessing that rise ball pitch that sat flat was just a matter of throwing with perhaps a little too much velocity and not focusing on spin.
2-1 to Hassler. Takes strike 2.
I think that visit to the circle by both her head coach and her pitching coach has allowed her to be able to stay composed, get her emotions back in check, and focus more on that spin of their pitches.
Those numbers right there show you how impressive Jordy Fromm's day was yesterday after Oklahoma State scored 34 runs in 3 games last week. Jensen responds to the circle visit well and holds Oklahoma State to just 1 run.
So important to be able to have a pitcher get her emotions back after allowing a run in that inning. Got a strikeout on the rise ball, but finishes off the inning with the ball down in the zone on the swing and miss.
This is going to be a couple hours of some of the best softball that you've seen.
A swing for the softball ages. Osman keeps it around. It is called. And she sets her off. The Big Ten pitcher of the year ends it as Nebraska is the Big Ten tournament title winners.
Rhonda Revelle could not avoid the Gatorade bath as Nebraska was crowned Big Ten champions. Now can they get it going to the Women's College World Series? Just 6 teams from the Big Ten in the last 11. Now that comes before UCLA and Washington and Oregon have all joined. But the last finals appearance was Michigan back in 2015, and they also had the last title back in 05.
So important for the Big Ten to just continue to represent like this. They feel underrepresented when it comes to the national scene.
Couple opportunities for the Big Ten this year with Nebraska and UCLA both in the driver's seat in their respective super regionals. Jessie Farrell leads off the second inning for the Cornhuskers and rips this right at the left fielder Claire Tim, and there's one out.
And what you take away from contact like that is just being able to go back to the dugout and explain positioning of the pitch, also how to get on time in the on-deck circle. You always want to attack a pitch with velocity. Farrell was right on time with that, but unable to get it past Claire Tim out there in left.
A much calmer start from Ruby Malin and this Oklahoma State defense today. They were down 3-0 after an inning in yesterday's resumed game 1.
And it was because of the Farrell home run that put him up on top so quick.
Ball 1 outside to Samantha Bland. She had a pair of hits yesterday as well. 5 Cornhuskers had multi-hit games, and it's 5 of the top 6 in their order. Pair of doubles in the NCAA tournament. One of them came yesterday, was just her 8th of the season. Skies this out to center field, 2 outs.
And while you know Ruby Malin is a drop ball pitcher, she likes to throw that drop to different levels so you feel like you can elevate, but with that last second drop or hard spin that takes it into a different swing plane, it often will miss barrels. Another nice out for Ruby Malin.
Has retired 5 of the first 6 batters she has faced, trying to go 1-2-3 here in the second. Casey Hoffman reached twice yesterday, a base hit and a walk. Hoffman, one of 12 seniors on this Nebraska roster, trying to leave their mark on this program after having not reached the Women's College World Series since 2013. Ruby went with Washington when she was a true freshman playing out west. This one gets through for a base hit with 2 outs.
At times, Ruby Malin continues to leave this ball over the middle of the plate. So it does have nice drop or break down, but if you leave it middle, it's easier to attack as a hitter. So finding the corner is going to be really important for her to continue to get ahead of these Nebraska hitters.
Alexis Jensen will get a chance to help her own cause. One of 4 two-way players essentially on this roster. Jensen hits .329 on the year, 23 hits, 6 home runs, and has driven in 17. And she told us her first collegiate at bat came against Nyjah Kennedy, and she said, all I could think was just don't strike out. And she didn't. Just off the end of the bat for strike 1.
One of 3 freshmen in the country on that top 3 watch list for freshman of the year. The other 2, they're playing at Oklahoma. Oklahoma with a big win over Mississippi State earlier today to even up that super regional. They'll have to play the, if necessary, game tomorrow to see who advances to OKC.
Jensen takes outside ball 2. Just to keep you updated, the winner of this super regional plays the winner from Fayetteville And Duke and Arkansas right now in a weather delay, with Arkansas leading that series 1-0. 6:05 Eastern is the projected first pitch of that game. Ground ball, tough on the short hop, and the ball pops out on the tag by Godwin. Both runners are going to be safe.
Defensively, with the ball coming your way at second base, you know you've got time to make the tag on an advancing runner. So as Hoffman was going between first and second, it's an easy tag to get that play, but Hoffman played that perfectly by continuing on her line, running aggressively, and without securing the ball in the glove, leaves that susceptible to being dropped, and that's exactly what happened. Everybody's safe.
4 errors in the series for Oklahoma State after 3 yesterday. Lauren Kamenzen didn't necessarily want that, but got a piece of it and falls behind 0-2.
I think the defense is the part that is maybe the most frustrating for the Oklahoma State coaching staff, knowing that they are so much better than what they've shown in this super regional. Carrie Eberly going to come out of the dugout to make sure she has a conversation with her senior in the circle, knowing that a miscue like that can sometimes rattle a pitcher. In this situation, they want to try to get out of this inning before they flip the lineup over to the big hitter, Jordy Fromm.
Oklahoma State had the second best fielding percentage in the Big 12, but it is interesting. Carly Godwin wasn't playing second at the beginning of the year. She was at first. They've moved some things around. This is a team, and this is what these two coaches talked about. It felt like a super regional when they met in February, but both of them acknowledged the fact that these are much different looking teams here in May.
Their lineups look different, their defensive sets look different. Maybe the only thing that is the same is the kind of dominance, that performances that we expect out of the circle between Malin, Jensen, and Fromm.
Kamenzen pops it up and out of play. 0-2 count here against her former high school teammate. Ruby has already set down Hannah Kamenzen on strikes. Now trying to get the pair. Big pitch. Little inside for ball 1.
So early in a ball game, pitching staffs and hitters are trying to figure out where in the zone is it going to be called a strike. We've seen down and away get exploited. The pitch up in the zone is not getting the called strike.
1-2. Got her swinging. Big strikeout for Ruby Malin, her second of the day.
Exactly the way Ruby Malin likes to get her outs. Down in the zone, get a swing and miss, a 68-mile-an-hour drop ball underneath the hands of Lauren Kamenzen, and gets out of the inning without any damage.
there is nothing like the Women's College World Series.
It all starts in 5 days on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. The Women's College World Series. Here's what it looks like. One of the sides, at least, Arkansas Duke winner faces the winner of ours here in Lincoln between Nebraska and Oklahoma State. A couple more games to be finished tonight. Alabama LSU is in progress, but they are in a weather delay. And then UCLA UCF plays the late one. We get started in the bottom of the second. Jensen gave up 1 in the first and gets strike 1 here to start off Tia Warsop, the center fielder who was 0 for 3 a day ago. Down and away, ball 1. Tia Warsop from Northampton, England, but moved to Dallas at age 4. She's a member of the Great Britain senior national team. We asked, does she still have the accent? They said no, but she can turn it on pretty good, the British accent. Ground ball right side. There's Jordy, who steps on first, 1 out. The team that kept Nebraska from OKC last year is headed back. Tennessee over Georgia in 2 games. They were the first to punch their ticket yesterday, and they are still the only to have punched their ticket so far.
And it's so important to go into the World Series with a lot of confidence, and that team is doing a really good job of supporting their pitching staff, namely Carlin Pickens.
Well, and that'll be the key for Tennessee. Certainly they've got the pitching staff to raise the trophy. Can they get the run support they need? That was what they were lacking a year ago. 1 out for Claire Tim. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts yesterday. Had a grand slam in their regional final win over Stanford. Out in front of that for strike 1.
Changeup is such an important pitch for Jensen to be able to locate that, keep it on the corners, and not leave it big in the middle of the plate. It's a great disruptor of timing for these hitters, but it cannot be left in a hittable zone to be able to react to.
Just misses low and away, 2-1. Let's look at that grand slam last weekend.
I mean, to be able to swing with this kind of power is so important, but yesterday, unable to put the barrel on the ball. She was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. They're hoping that she's able to find better pitches sitting down here in the lineup.
Off the end of the bat to even the count at 2-2. Claire Tim, a California kid in Stillwater, Oklahoma. So of course she loves her home state out in California, but she's really enjoyed the pace of life in Stillwater. Said they're the best fans to play for. So they've done a great job when they've been at home of picking the team up when they've needed it most. Weren't a lot of those moments last weekend. They rolled through regionals. Swing and a miss. Jensen settling in.
It's important for Jensen to not throw through her spin, and I think on this rise ball, what you're seeing is a much better composed pitch. Starts below the belt, rises up to the shoulders, a 66-mile-an-hour rise ball, and I think by taking a couple of miles an hour off of that pitch, that's what allows it to bite the air and get better break.
Strike 1 to Audrey Schneidmiller. Mentioned the challenges that Alexis Jensen was faced with all year long, but specifically right out of the gates. Her first 6 starts came against Power 4 opponents. 4 of them were still playing when Super started. So those teams were Washington, Texas, LSU, Georgia, Texas Tech, and South Carolina. Welcome to college softball.
And it was those starts that have set her up to be confident here at the end of the season, knowing that she could face those opponents no matter who they were or when they came in the season.
Trying to set down Schneidmiller, who lays off the pitch up in the zone.
And you see a lot of pitchers that are very stoic in the circle, but Alexis Jensen is not one of them. There is a ton of personality with this freshman for Nebraska.
squeezes Schneidmiller. That was filthy.
We talked about the changeup. She will flash it. You have to be ready for it. That one was dirty. She gets a strikeout earlier in the inning on a rise ball that breaks well, and then just pulls the string and buckles the hitter to get out of the inning.
So the fans are going to show up, and they're going to show up big. Record-setting numbers. This was on April 25th, their regular season finale. 3,541 fans in attendance. They average over 2,600. That's fourth best in Division I softball, and over 13,000 in just 4 games, not including this one, which I'm telling you, Jenny, and we've talked to people around the booth too. I think everyone expects this to be a record-setting day in this building.
Well, and I think this is the family that Fromm built, the way that they've been able to pack this stadium, always anticipating what Jordy Fromm would be able to do at the plate and in the circle. She's the hometown favorite for sure.
Of course, Nebraska fans made news a couple years ago when they packed Memorial Stadium for a volleyball match for the storied Nebraska volleyball program. They came to see Jordy Fromm, who jumps ahead in the count 3-0. And if you haven't been keeping up with college softball this year, this is formerly Jordy Ball. She got married in the summer to a former Husker baseball player, Trey Fromm. Takes strike one in the 3-0 count.
And I think that needs to be a constant reminder of fans. This is Jordy Ball, who played at Oklahoma, started her career here at Nebraska as Jordy Ball, but with that name change, I think at times people forget that she's still the same dominant player at the plate and in the circle. And one of the things that Coach Rhonda Revelle talked about when she talks about Jordy Fromm is the fact that being married has actually just helped her be more consistent, more settled when she takes the field.
3-2 from Ruby. Inside ball 4. The leadoff is on here in the third.
First walk of the day by Ruby Malin in the circle. We talk about how free passes are very slim when you think about these pitching staffs. So in the 240 innings that Ruby Malin had coming into today, that's just her 56th walk of the season.
Both Ruby and Jordy spent 2 years at their first college stops. For Malin, it was playing for Heather Tarr at Washington. For Jordy, of course, 2 national championships and a National Freshman of the Year nod at Oklahoma. The bunt laid down the first baseline by Hannah Kaur, spins foul.
And typically in that situation, you're expecting that to be a sacrifice bunt where Kaur would be giving herself up, but she's got a ton of speed at the plate. And I anticipate that that was something that she was trying to put herself on. Spins just foul. But even if that ball had been picked up in fair territory, she was going to be safe down there at first.
Nebraska got 3 in the first inning, 4 in the third, and added 1 more in the bottom of the 6th yesterday for an 8-1 victory, out-hitting Oklahoma State 12-5. And they ran Ruby Malin from the game without recording an out in this frame.
Well, and with a strike to play with, she's in a 1-1 count. Because of that, the corners will respect that short game, not really hold from close to first base.
Kaur swings through that pitch out of the zone and falls behind 1-2.
So this does relieve the defense from needing to defend the short game, and with that, the corners will retreat, play behind the bags, respecting the power of Kaur.
Kaur's been good all year, but has picked it up in the last couple months of the season as she fouls this up and out of play. She has a hit in 14 of the last 17 games. 5 extra base hits in that time. She's Big Ten all-defensive team out in center field.
Just 1 error in her career.
Chops this foul toward Rhonda Revelle in the third base coach's box.
We talk a lot about the transfers that have moved all around the country. With Hannah Kaur, she was at Oklahoma last season. And when we talked to Rhonda Revelle about this player, she said it's just fun to see her relaxed and feeling the freedom to be herself here in this setting.
Another 1-2. Hit hard through the 5-6 hole. This is going to roll to the wall. Rhonda Revelle waving from around from first, and she is safe. Kaur all the way around to third. The Huskers in business.
And that gets everybody on their feet. A ground ball all the way to the wall. Sharply hit, splits the defenders on the infield, and with that, Fromm never had the stop sign. There was no hesitation as she rounded second, went round third. I mean, that's a pretty cool slide into home. And not only that, they've got a runner at third as well.
First pitch tipped foul by Hannah Kamensend. No outs in the inning. That misses high, 1-1 count.
I don't know about you, Chucky, but it seems like that hit brought these fans right into this ball game, now sitting in a 1-1 tie. A lot more emotion coming from the stands, and that's the benefit of playing at home in these moments, to be able to have the extra emotion coming out of the stands to support you in run production and also to try to rattle the defense.
2-1 count with that infield in. This is lifted to right field, carrying to the wall and hangs up at the warning track, but it's job done for Hannah Kamensend, and Nebraska is on top.
I mean, this ball looked like it might have a chance to leave the yard, but off the barrel, that launch angle just a little bit too high to be able to leave the yard. Not much that you can do out there in right. So Madison Hoffman gets the ball in, but it's an easy run for Nebraska to put them on top.
RBI number 56. A team best for Hannah Kamenzen this year. And now with one out in the inning, Ava Cusack will try and start things up again. Strike two to Cusack, and she is behind 0-2 in the count. This is the first time in program history that Nebraska has hosted a super regional. Of course, they've hosted regionals in the past, and as Rhonda Revelle reminded us, supers haven't been around forever. They didn't start up until 2005.
So they did host regionals before the super regional format was instituted in 2005. And she did remind us of that yesterday on air to make sure we remembered that this crowd has been able to experience the postseason before.
34 years at the helm for Rhonda Revelle as that misses high. 2-2 count now to Cusack. She's had Lori Sipple with her from the beginning. Sipple was actually here 3 years before Revelle took over as the head coach. And then when you throw in Diane Miller, it's the longest tenured trio in the nation. They've been together as a trio for 18 years. That's popped up and out of play. And the fourth member of the staff is Olivia Farrell, who is a former Husker player in her third year as an assistant coach.
And sometimes when you see coaching staffs that have been together that long, they can become stale in their approach to the game, but that's something that Rhonda Revelle and her staff have not done. Constantly working to improve and get better, not only individually on how they coach the game, but also how they approach the new analytics that have entered our game in the past several years.
Popped up on the infield right by the first base bag. McDonald has it, 2 outs.
And not only have they started using the analytics in a different way, but they've also moved into using motor preferences to help their players understand how their bodies move naturally and lean into those natural movements of their hitters and pitchers to be more effective in how they coach.
In the dirt, ball 1 to Jessie Farrell. 0 for 1 today after a 2 for 4 performance yesterday. A 3-run home run, a 2 RBI single up the middle. She came into the day yesterday hitting just .228 with runners in scoring position. Kamenzen twins rooting her on from the Nebraska dugout, and she jumps ahead 2-0.
Well, yesterday was Farrell's most productive day at the plate all season long. That 2 for 4, 5 RBI appearance was something that they've been needing her to do all year.
Inside, that got Farrell, or did it? No.
Why is he running?
2-1 count for Ruby Malin, and delivers strike 2. Trying to limit the damage to just 2 runs here in the top of the third. It's actually a 3-1 count. Scoreboard tricked me. There is strike 2.
Maybe you were just looking into the future. It's so important to be able to exploit the part of the zone that you know is going to be called a strike, and that down and away pitch is something that we've seen be used to get the call all day.
Ground ball left side, Rosie Davis onto it and handles it with a throw over to first base. Nebraska on top. They get 2 in the inning, and they brought this crowd to life in Lincoln. 1 win from Oklahoma City, 2.5 innings down. We are here in Lincoln, where Nebraska has taken the lead over Oklahoma State 2-1, but the Cowgirls the home team today in this Game 2 outing. Nebraska hadn't lost much this year, but they're 3-4 in one-run games. One of those losses came in Stillwater to Oklahoma State.
And when these two teams matched up, they were both one-run games. Those decisions were split, and so when it comes to games like this, getting more than 1 run to support your pitchers, so important.
First pitch misses just inside. That's just the second batter for Oklahoma State that has not seen a first pitch strike. Kenny Gajewski and company, this goes all the way back to the beginning of the season in Clearwater. They're 8-3 in one-run games. This is a gritty group that he's got. When we talked to them a few days ago here in Lincoln, the comment we got from Rosie Davis, Claire Tim, and Ruby Malin, they felt like the win over Oklahoma at Devon Park in Oklahoma City back in middle of April was a turning point. Said it made us believe in ourselves, and we just started to win.
And there were also some moments when they went out to Arizona where they had a guest speaker come and talk to them and give them a line that talked about sometimes you, sometimes me, always us, that helped define the way that they wanted to play this season.
And to the players' credit, it was Kenny Gajewski talked to us about that moment, but it was actually Rosie Davis that first said that statement to us, kind of unprompted. But it's something that you can tell this team has believed in. They have come out much better here in Game 2. Aubrey Jones in a 2-2 count, watches strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts for Alexis Jensen.
Well, it's how she ended the previous inning. That changeup is knee buckling. You have to be able to stay in your legs and get your barrel off your shoulder when you see that pitch up in the zone. It's a hittable pitch. However, the timing of these hitters is definitely disrupted with that nasty pitch.
Back to the top of the order, Carly Godwin swinging first pitch. Left side for Bland. 2 quick outs here for Alexis Jensen. We talked to Rhonda Revelle about the freshman star pitcher from Gretna, Nebraska. She said She's just so locked in, such a great competitor on the field, but entirely different off the field. Very loose, very goofy. We've even seen that kind of in real time before the inning started. She was watching the promotion on the big screen.
I mean, there's a lot of marketing that happens in these postseason games, and with that marketing, I think you can be distracted at times. Jensen completely watching the promotion going on before her pitch, and then locked right back in to throw strikes.
Davis watches that pitch down for ball one. The exact quote from Rhonda Revelle was that she is authentic. She's the most fierce competitor on the field, but entirely different off of it. Laser focused on, loose off.
And she didn't call her loose, she called her goofy.
Goofy, that's right.
I mean, to be able to have that kind of personality, it's awesome because it allows her to stay loose in the moment, but also focus right when she needs to.
Davis fights off the 1-1 pitch in a 1-2 count. Rosie Davis from Readyville, Tennessee. Was also a great basketball player in high school. She was an all-state basketball player. She actually made varsity as an 8th grader. And when I asked her if she was the best basketball player on the team, her teammates and coach sitting around her did not know that was a thing. They said, you play basketball?
She said, come on, Coach Gajewski, you didn't know that?
The off speed just tipped by Davis.
And that's all you have to do is spoil that pitch. You don't need to hit it in play. You just need to get it out of the way, knowing that Jensen is going to throw something with velocity in her next pitch. So with that ball being up in the zone, it's easier to spoil and make sure that you keep the at-bat alive.
In the dirt from Jensen, 2-2. The tough part for Oklahoma State, not just facing Alexis Jensen, but the fact that standing over at first base and probably ready to go by the 5th or 6th inning is going to be Jordy Fromm, who leads the nation with 12 saves. That has been the duo all year for Nebraska. It's what Rhonda Revelle was talking about when she said, we begin with the end in mind.
And while those two have gone back-to-back in a lot of games, I want to give props to Hannah Kamenzen, who ate some innings earlier in the year to keep those two fresh here for the postseason.
Swing and a miss. Another one for Jensen. She is feeling it. We'll talk to her head coach, Rhonda Revelle, next. That's 5 of the last 6 batters going down on strikes.
And this one down and away. She is absolutely spinning it. Not even close to the zone, but gets the swing and miss to get out of the inning.
Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Packed house in Lincoln. Nebraska up 1 through 3 full innings. We're joined by the Husker head coach, Rhonda Revelle. Coach, no surprise Alexis Jensen is in the circle today. What gave you the confidence all the way back in February to start putting her in these high leverage moments?
We put her in game 1, beginning with the end in mind, and we've done this a lot. And so even when she was introduced today, our crowd was not surprised. I mean, she's big in these moments, and she competes as hard as anyone.
Well, and when you get to play at home for Super Regionals, what does it mean to be able to have this kind of support from the crowd?
Oh my gosh, it's at another level today. We've got the Bowling Boys right here, you know. I just named them that right there in the moment, by the way. But they're loud and they're proud. It's really fun. This environment is incredible. I said last weekend I hadn't experienced anything like it, but I haven't experienced anything like this one now, too.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks for being here.
Well, now we get the Bowling Boys.
Yeah.
Named right here. You're experiencing the naming of the crew that sits front row and hypes up the on-deck hitter. Tries to get in the head of the pitcher out in the circle. I think crowds need to understand that an educated crowd can definitely sway the performance of the home team and mess with the players on the other side.
Ruby Malin gave up 2 in the top of the 3rd, trying to settle in now to keep her team just a 1-run deficit. You know this Oklahoma State lineup can swing it, so the door is there if Malin can do her thing in the circle. That just misses high, and a little bit of an off-speed pitch from Ruby. It's a 2-0 count to Samantha Bland, leading it off. 6, 7, 8 for the Huskers in the 4th. To the right side, that hops up nicely for Godwin, and there's 1 out.
In a 2-0 count, as a hitter, it gives you a lot of confidence swinging big on a pitch, knowing that you've got a bunch of strikes still to go, but in a 2-0 pitch, you've got to make sure that you're hunting a side of the plate. In that situation, it was a hard ground ball to the second baseman. However, if you're anticipating and hunting the outside part of the plate, that can be a line drive to the wall.
This is the Ruby we have come to expect. Oklahoma State will keep arms loose just in case. All hands on deck in an elimination game, but go all the way back to when Ruby Malin first arrived on the scene at Washington. She was a 3rd-team All-American as a true freshman, took them to the Women's College World Series. Has not been back to OKC since that freshman season at UW. Facing Casey Hoffman, who singled back in the 2nd inning. This is stroked up the middle for a 1-out single.
And Chucky, that's what hunting looks like, especially on a pitch that's down in the zone. She was ready for that location. So if you're hunting outside, you've also got to be ready for middle. And that ball pretty close to being right into Ruby Malin's grill. That was a scary moment on the hard comebacker right back up the middle. That's a pitcher's pitch, but she was obviously ready for the pitch down in the zone.
They will run over at first base with Kennedy Williams. And now here is Jensen once again trying to help her cause. Reached on an error. It was that ground ball that should have ended the 2nd inning, but it popped out of the glove of Godwin on the tag and didn't end up amounting to anything. The only difference was that it allowed Jordy Fromm to lead off the 3rd inning, in which they scored their 2 runs. That is a big-time hack.
And it is a big-time hack. And what I think happened in that situation was Ruby Malin took a little velocity off of it to miss the barrel of Jensen. So manipulating speeds is such an important part of our game. It doesn't have to be a changeup, but being able to throw your bread and butter pitches at different speeds can really be impactful against big swings.
3 Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year awards between these two. Malin won it once as a senior. Jensen won it twice. Alexis Jensen wins to Gretna. Ruby Malin out of Skutt Catholic. Swing and a miss. That gets away. Or was it a foul ball? It was.
Just tipped it. So you're seeing an amped up Jensen in the box with her swings a little too ahead of the velocity coming out of the circle. So for Jensen, she needs to make sure that she gets her timing down.
Two-two, slow roller right side, spins toward the base, and McDonald steps on the bag for the second out.
With those big swings and being ahead in her timing, the right side of the field was ready for that. Easy ground ball to first base as Jensen pulled over and topped that ball for a pretty easy out.
Two outs with a runner in scoring position for the 9-hole Lauren Kamenzen, who is 0 for 4 in the 2 games so far. Watches ball 1 inside. This is not one that Ruby Malin wants to get away. Jordy Fromm is on deck. The Huskers would like to see her come up in this inning with an opportunity, but they will also be happy if she ends up leading off an inning. In the air to center field, right toward the Nebraska logo for out number 3. Ruby Malin bounces back here in the 4th. Can the bats get it going in the bottom of the 4th? 3-4-5 coming up for Kenny Gajewski, who we will visit with on the other side. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. We are in the capital, Lincoln, Nebraska. The Huskers leading the Cowgirls 2-1. We are joined by Oklahoma State head coach Kenny Gajewski. Coach, much different performance from you guys today. What did you tell your starter Ruby Malin and this team as a whole to get their mindset right?
You know, I didn't really say a whole lot. I don't think I need to say a whole lot. We played a ton of games. We've responded. We've had some ugly type games this year, but we've always responded well in that next one. So I didn't have to tell these guys a whole lot. They were loose all day. Liked the way they went about their work, and we just gotta get going here. You know, she's way too comfy out there. We've got to do some things a little differently here. Ship just gave them a great talk, so we'll see if that can turn the tide here.
Well, and with that conversation to your hitters, how do you need to attack this freshman in the circle who right now is keeping you pretty quiet?
Well, we're all over. You and I talked about this last night. We were in between. We look a little bit like that now. I feel like we have a good plan. We just got to go execute. And so, you know, we're chasing. We're taking some good pitches that look like from the side look like some balls that are right there. The zone feels a little bit wide, but it's been wide both ways. So we got chances here. We just got to make it happen.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you.
All right, guys.
And I think Coach is exactly right. The strike zone has been a little bit more wide, but it is fair. It's being consistent on both sides of the ball. So as a hitter, you have to pick a speed. You have to hunt a zone to be able to attack the freshman, who's doing a really good job out in the circle.
Nebraska, just a few innings from making their 8th Women's College World Series trip. Oklahoma State trying to force a winner-take-all game. Jensen starts off Madison Hoffman with strike one. It's just been what Alexis Jensen has done today.
She started so many of these hitters with strikes for her first pitch against them, but she's manipulating her speed, which makes it hard to attack first pitch.
0-2 count, and that is kind of what Kenny Gajewski was talking about, just kind of in between on their approach. Just not committed fully.
Well, when you get started with a changeup, then you've got to be ready for velocity next pitch, knowing that you've only got one strike. Pick a speed and attack.
Down low to Hoffman, who struck out back in the first inning. Five of the last 7 Oklahoma State hitters have gone down via the strikeout. Madison Hoffman get it going for Kenny Gajewski and company. The expectation under Kenny Gajewski has become Oklahoma City, and he's done that through incredible success in the last 6 years. They missed last year, but they had made 5 straight trips to Oklahoma City before that. It's year number 11 for Gajewski, who's had just an awesome climb in the coaching world. A few years as an assistant under Tim Walton, and now 11 as the head coach here.
Yeah, he won a national championship at Florida under Tim Walton, but before that was also on the grounds crew at Oklahoma for softball.
Slow roller right side. Fromm steps on the base, 1 out. The Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins Thursday at 12 Eastern, live on ESPN. For more info on the 2026 Women's College World Series, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Somehow, only one team has punched their ticket so far, and that is Tennessee.
And I think a big reason for that is the way that these teams have played all year long. So much parity in our sport. I don't see one team being able to just chalk their way into the championship series. This is going to be a dogfight to the end.
Strike 2 for Alexis Jensen, who is in the zone.
I mean, she is finding ways to manipulate her speed, find corners, and with this being a wide zone, being able to continue to use the rise ball, drop ball, and that curve ball to both sides.
Hit hard into left center field. Long run for Carr, who lays out and makes the play. A great swing from Lexi McDonald, but nowhere to put it with Hannah Carr roaming.
And that's the kind of swing that Kenny Gajewski has asked his team to put on these balls. That was a fantastic swing on a pitch outside. She allowed it to travel, drove it deep into the left center gap. But when you've got range like Core does out there in center field, that goes down as an out, even though it was a really nice piece of hitting.
Swing and a miss at the first pitch by Amanda Hasler. That was outside the zone, but it just goes to show you how these hitters are feeling at the box right now against Alexis Jensen.
It's one thing to chase velocity. It's another to be vulnerable outside the zone early in a count. You have to hunt a strike, not just hunt a velocity when you're facing Alexis Jensen.
Has already struck Hasler out once back in the first inning. 0-2 count. In the air to center field. Core's not going to reach this one. It's a 2-out base knock for Hasler. And the tying run is on for Oklahoma State.
Really good contact in back-to-back hitters for Oklahoma State. And I think that's why you see Rhonda Revelle coming out of the dugout to come talk to her battery to make sure that they understand how to manipulate speeds and continue to try to stifle these hitters for Oklahoma State.
2 hits for Oklahoma State. Both have come with 2 outs today. That base hit from Hasler snapped a streak of 9 straight retired for Alexis Jensen. Kenny Gajewski going to make a change on the base paths here. The freshman J.L. Austin will enter the game.
I think what we'll see is with this entrance of J.L. Austin into the game, she will probably stay in the game going out to left field defensively after this at bat.
Tia Warsop grounded out to Jordy Fromm at first base, her first time up. Strike 1 on the foul ball for Warsop. Second year as a full-time starter. She played in 51 games as a true freshman, but only made 6 starts. Now in her junior season. All Big 12 second team out in front of that pitch for strike 2. The crowd wants another one. 0-2 count. She got her! A roar from Alexis Jensen, her 7th strikeout.
The freshman is dealing. And what helps when a freshman's throwing like that? Well, some defense in the outfield. Beautiful catch to keep the 1-run lead. Nebraska heads into the dugout to try to tack on some more.
Nebraska up 2-1. You see the 3 pinstriped fellows there in the front row. Right in the middle is Jordy Fromm's husband, Trey, who played baseball here at Nebraska. So he is leading the charge of the cheers there right next to the Nebraska dugout as his wife, Jordy Fromm, the leadoff hitter, starts off this inning. chasing her second 20-20 season. No player in Division I softball has had multiple of those, as Ruby Malin gets her to swing through strike one.
And that was quite the hack on a pitch that Jordy Fromm typically does not swing at. She's looking to put another run on the board in one swing.
Jordy hits 500 as the leadoff to an inning. It's over 420 on the season, has driven in more than 50 runs. She's closing in on 80 hits. Pops this up, though. Big chance for Malin to get out number one, and she does.
So important to get that leadoff out. She walked Jordy when she led off back in the third inning. So important for Malin to continue to get these big outs from these hitters that sit at the top of the lineup that have been the most impactful in this Super Regional.
Now, we talked about it yesterday when Ruby Malin exited that game with no outs in the third inning, that they were going to need her. And just in the grand scheme of things, she comes back to her home state for the first time since playing in high school and travel ball. And in front of her mom and dad and family in the crowd is putting together an excellent performance to give Oklahoma State a chance to survive. There's mom and dad just a few rows back, right next to the Oklahoma State dugout.
And we've seen some really emotional hugs by Ruby and her dad before the games have started. I think having that support is so important, that no matter how the game goes coming off the field, the way that your parents support you is just so impactful, to be able to have that kind of confidence in a game, even if you don't win.
This is crushed to left center field. Back at the wall and gone. Hannah Kaur taking over.
Kaur already has 3 national championships to her name while playing at Oklahoma. But now, as a Husker, she's trying to get this team to finish their season in Oklahoma City. Her 6th home run of the year gives much needed run support to this Husker ball club as this game is getting near the end.
Every run feels like another mountain to climb for Oklahoma State, the way Alexis Jensen is throwing. So you have 99 in the circle, and you got 98, Jordy Fromm, who is just licking her chops if she gets an opportunity to close the door. Jordy is throwing in the Nebraska bullpen right now. Still just 1 out here in the 5th inning. 2-0 count to Hannah Kamenzind. That misses low, ball 3. There's Jordy.
Well, and the way that Nebraska has put their pitchers back to back in most games, I think Jordy Fromm is anticipating coming in and closing this ball game here today. But if not, Jensen right now is in full control, just giving up 2 hits.
Jordy Fromm leads the nation in saves with 12, as the count is now full at 3-2. So when will we see Jordy with an opportunity to go to Oklahoma City? This is in the air to left field toward Claire Tim, who stands under it and makes the catch. Well, that is actually Tia Warsop now. They have moved some spots in the outfield just like they did yesterday. Still a chance to keep this to just a 1-run inning. Carrie Eberly Parker out to talk with Ruby Malin. Riley Crandall is warming up in the bullpen. Doesn't look like they're going to make a change right now.
I think you're right, Chucky. This is Ruby Malin confident and in control, while that home run definitely rattled her because she followed it up by 3 consecutive balls to the plate. She's now settled in with that out to left and just trying to get out of this inning.
The Husker power chants ringing around Bolin Stadium. Hard hit foul. You just wonder, as those chants are happening, what's going through the mind of their 34-year head coach, Rhonda Revelle. And you asked her about this team and everything that's gone into it and what this season could end up being. And she said, there's so many things this year that could create emotions, but I don't want to be emotional. I have to stay on task. Said there'll be a moment for that, but I have a job to do. Ava Cusack doing her job with 2 outs. They haven't been to Oklahoma City since 2013 when Taylor and Tatum Edwards, the twin sisters, leading the charge. Something about twins, because they've got 2 more of them this year in the Kaminzin sisters.
And that was the last time that Nebraska has been to Oklahoma City, and a lot of them here in attendance today. Taylor Edwards sitting right there in the middle with the jersey on, representing her Huskers.
Her jersey retired just above us on the press box here. The number 12 was a legend. She just finished up her playing career in the AUSL last year. Longtime Team USA member. Here's the current Husker catcher, Jessie Farrell.
And while I never like to see a good catcher retire from our game, as the general manager of the Bandits, I'm actually okay seeing that big bat retire because she was always so hard to get out.
Farrell fouls off the 2-0 pitch. So much energy in this building, but just the one run across. Somebody's caught. Hey, Taylor, they just put you on TV.
They're talking about you. Smile.
No way. No way.
That's superstar status.
That's right. It's probably the AUSL commissioner, Kim Ng, calling her.
That's
Taylor,
right.
They got you on TV. 3-1 to Farrell. Takes ball 4.
We've already talked about how Ruby Malin does not give up free passes very often. That's just the second walk in this game today. I mean, she loves to fill the zone. That one just a little bit too low to be able to be called a strike.
Having a conversation with her catcher, Audrey Schneidmiller, and you just wonder if this could be the last batter she faces. She's retired Samantha Bland twice, but after that is Casey Hoffman, who is 2 for 2 off Malin. So maybe trying to let her get through this inning before they figure out what's next.
How do you take the ball, though, out of Ruby Malin's hands, knowing that it's her season that is on the line? This Oklahoma State team missed Oklahoma City last year. They're trying to get back there.
Up and in, ball 1. Bland had 2 hits yesterday and scored a run, but is 0 for 2 today. There is Hoffman with a pair of hits waiting on deck. Strike 1 from Ruby.
And Malin this year talked about how she leaned into making sure she connected with her defense, connected with her teammates off the field. That has really been something that she feels has helped her game this year to stay connected during a game.
Fouled straight back. She appeared in both games back in February when these two met. One of them was a start. She went 13 innings and gave up 1 earned run against this lineup in those 2 outings. As you see the splits here in wins and losses, she's just been dominant when they've won.
She's been dominant, but then also has given up some pretty big hits to elevate her ERA in those losses.
She entered Supers having put together a 22-1 run in her last 25 appearances with a 1.64 ERA and nearly 150 innings pitched. Can get out of the jam right here. 2-2 count. Just down, full count. Nebraska trying to load the bases here in the 5th. Hard hit off the glove of Davis, and the bases are loaded.
And we've seen Malin use the bottom of the zone, not really going back to the rise ball much here in this inning. And because of that, as a hitter, you know that you can just drive the ball down in the zone and get a hard ground ball. That's exactly what Bland was able to do in that pitch. Hard shot right at the third baseman, Davis.
Well, the moment comes for everyone. And this could be the moment for Ruby Malin. You never know. She could always come back in this game later. But for the star senior from 45 minutes up the road in Omaha, she departs to a standing ovation, not just from her fans, but from all the fans in Lincoln.
Recognizing greatness coming off the field. Love that this crowd understands what they were able to see in that senior.
Ruby departs. Riley Crandall gets the ball. Bases loaded, 2 outs when we come back. Ruby Malin departs for what could be the final time in her collegiate career. With the bases loaded, she's responsible for those 3 runs after 4 2/3. Much better in game 2 against Nebraska. But the senior from New Mexico, Riley Crandall, who was a workhorse in her first 2 years of college at Baylor, enters. She was really good yesterday. 2 scoreless, no hits, no walks.
And she's been used as a reliever often this season. Throws in the mid-60s, lives with her curve confidently, and this week her screw has had some drop to it, and that improves that pitch as it changes planes. She needs to start clean in this appearance.
Casey Hoffman is 2 for 2. Into left field and foul.
I love a hitter that comes in on time, ready to go, facing a new pitcher, trying to welcome them to the game. Crandall's in a really tough spot with two runners in scoring position, but the bases are juiced. She has to pitch carefully.
Up and in and hit her, and that's going to bring a run across.
Unfortunate for Crandall out in the circle. You cannot let that pitch get away from you. But as a right-handed pitcher, if you hold on just a little too long, it will ride into the opposing batter's box, which is on that left side. And with the lefty batter up, Nebraska gets the advantage.
Oklahoma State in the danger zone. First pitch strike. To Alina Felix, a pinch hitter from Tucson, Arizona, one of the team captains this year. Takes outside ball one. This is just her 9th appearance. She has driven in a trio of runs with 5 hits on the year. What a spot for her to get an opportunity for Rhonda Revelle.
You mentioned it, just her 12th at bat of the season, but she has the highest average of any player on this Nebraska team. No extra base hits, but has driven in 3 RBI this season.
Down in the count, 1-2 to Crandall. Checked her swing, and she did not go. Rhonda Revelle was very high on Alina Felix, said that it's so important to have somebody that might not necessarily be a starter, but is still a great leader and gives an opportunity for those other players trying to find their role to have somebody to go to. Through the right side, how about that from Felix? A second run comes across. The senior delivers.
Pressure situation for Alina Felix. Not a ton of experience on the season, but ready when her name is called to come off the bench. Amazing job by Felix to be able to just come into this at bat and be dominant. She was ready to swing, and that ball left belt high, able to turn on it. 2 more runs across for Nebraska.
First pitch down, and it just got away. Felix takes second, but Hoffman holds at third base. So 2 in scoring position now for Lauren Kamenzind. Nebraska has 1 foot in the door. In the air, left center, and gone! Lauren Kamenzind kicks the door in.
How do you welcome a new pitcher to a ball game? Well, it seems like Nebraska is showing you how to be able to go back-to-back hits with runners in scoring position, but then Kamenzind, that's her first hit here in Super Regionals. 0 for 3 yesterday, but finds a way to come away with a huge home run here in this one. 9th home run of the year for Kamenzind.
I'll do you one more. That was Lauren Kamenzen's first postseason hit this year. She was 0 for 7 last weekend in regionals. She has Nebraska 3 outs away from ending it early. Jordy Fromm into center. A nice running grab by the freshman J.L. Austin, and the inning has finally ended. Is it Nebraska's moment? Certainly a record crowd in Lincoln, ready to witness history. They are knocking on the door of their 8th trip to OKC.
A softball super regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Nebraska 3 outs away, 9-1. They can run rule it right here if they can close the door. Don't forget, it is the Eastern Conference Finals tonight. Knicks and Cavs tied. The series heading to Game 3. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern with NBA tip-off. The game at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Knicks are in front of that one, 2-0 right now. Nebraska would like to be 2-0 at the end of this game, too.
And it's all about Jordy Fromm, the nation's leader in saves. Came home after 2 years at Oklahoma, said when she went to OU, it was never because she wanted to leave home, never wanted to leave home. Said this place and these people mean so much to her. And in coming back, she wanted to set an example for the little girls who dream of playing in this jersey.
And leaving a legacy here at Nebraska, came in with postseason experience and is trying to get this Nebraska team back to OKC so that they can experience the kind of emotions and wins that she's been able to already have in her career.
Over 3,400 in attendance to watch this moment. A generational player. A connection with this coach that is so unique in today's atmosphere. Not sure what the delay on the field is for. They're kind of looking up into the stands, but we have not been told anything. And it appears the press box is also unaware of what is going on currently. And it looks like we are ready to go. And it looks like the Bowling boys are having to exit.
So just as Jordy Fromm enters the ball game, her husband is going to be asked to leave with her brothers, and they will try to fire up the crowd as they exit.
Claire Tim leads it off. It is ball one low. Tim 0 for 3 in the 2 games so far with 3 strikeouts. Frustrating week in the midst of what's been an excellent senior season for the Buena Park, California native. Fouls that off for strike 1. Ruby Malin can only look on from the dugout. They only need 1 run to keep this going, and we've seen some crazy stuff in the postseason. So can Oklahoma State push it to the 6th inning? Two-one is up and in and fouled back, strike 2.
Jordy loves to go to that rise ball to get the swing and miss. So important to be able to now stay in your legs, knowing that she has the changeup in her back pocket that she can pull out in any count. Right now, it's just about getting to contact. Don't try to load up and hit this one deep. Get it through the infield.
Alexis Jensen looking on. Ground ball right side, scooped up at first, and the tag is there in time. There is 1 out. More than a decade, they have been waiting to see Nebraska back on softball's biggest stage. Little did they know they would have arguably softball's biggest name leading the charge. Into right field, base hit. Oklahoma State not done yet. It's a base knock for Audrey Schneidmiller.
And that's what Kenny Gajewski has asked his hitters to do, is pick a speed, hunt a pitch, or hunt a side of the plate. And in that one, they know that Jordy loves to get ahead against batters. And so with that, you know it's going to be a pretty good pitch to start. So by being able to pick a side and execute on that, Schneidmiller comes away with a really nice hit to lead things off. They need 1 run to keep this game alive.
Gabby Castillo running at first, and now Aubrey Jones. Inside, ball 1. Jones looking for her first hit of the weekend here in Lincoln. Fouled back for strike 1.
There seemed to be a little extra juice on that one, a little more velo coming out of the circle from Fromm. Loves to manipulate her speeds, and they're putting a little extra juice on it.
A little off speed, misses down, ball 2.
While a lot of pitchers play checkers, Jordy Fromm plays chess the way that she continues to manipulate speeds and light up all quadrants.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Jones reminding herself after that swing and miss to make sure to see the ball down. That pitch up in the zone looks so meaty coming out of the hands, but it continues to rise up into a spot where you just swing and miss.
2-2 pitch. Little off speed is fouled off. Alexis Jensen had 7 strikeouts of this Oklahoma State lineup, who scored in the first inning. Rosie Davis walked. Lexi McDonald later brought her in to take the lead, and they held that lead through 2 full innings. Another 2-2 to Jones. Jordy got her! And Nebraska is 1 out away from the Women's College World Series.
When you feel the extra emotion, it can also lead into a little bit more velo coming out of the circle. A 70-mile-an-hour rise ball. Swing and miss. First strikeout of the game for Jordy, and she is now 1 out away from making it back to Oklahoma City.
This could be the last time Rhonda Revelle visits Jordy Fromm on the field here in Lincoln. And Rhonda told us, this team wanted this moment. They fell just short in Knoxville a year ago, but shortly after the season ended, they talked about bringing Supers here to their fans. 1 out from OKC. First pitch strike to Carly Godwin. Oh, 1 pitch. That one gets away for ball 1. Jordy's time in Lincoln did not start how many would have hoped it would, or maybe she anticipated. Tore her ACL just over 2 innings into her Nebraska debut in 2024. Swing and a miss. It could certainly finish the way she had envisioned.
And she has put herself in a spot where now she has the hitter guessing, is this going to be the pitch that sends them back to OKC?
1-2 count. Jordy Fromm. Did she go? She did, and Jordy delivers. The Huskers are headed to the Women's College World Series. Number 8 in program history. Number 4 for Rhonda Revelle as the head coach, who has won more games than any Husker head coach in any sport in the history of the university. And heartbreak for Kenny Gajewski and the Cowgirls.
For the 2nd straight year, the Oklahoma State Cowgirls do not make Oklahoma City such a talented team, but had to go up against a Nebraska ball club that had so much emotion coming into today. They were in the driver's seat, and they were able to find a way to come against Oklahoma State today. Let's take a look at the Capital One rewarding performance, and it was the entire 5th inning for Nebraska. Hannah Kaur got things started with the big home run. Solo shot. That put them on That put them up 3-1. And then Ava Kuzak hit. Samantha Bland hit. Alexis Jensen gave way to Alina Felix. And then a huge home run. Laura Kamenzen, her first home run of the postseason, her first hit of the postseason. This Nebraska team is finding their offense to be able to support the pitching circle as they make their way back to OKC for the first time since 2013.
An elated Rhonda Revelle. And that is the second ticket to be punched to Oklahoma City. And somewhat ironically, it is the two teams that played in Supers last year in Knoxville. Jordy Fromm and the Huskers will not be denied in 2026. That is 26 consecutive wins. We are joined by one of the Husker heroes, Hannah Core, who had an unbelievable day. Hannah, we saw all the emotion. We saw all the emotion from you in this game, after this game. Just tell us what you're feeling right now.
I'm just over the top, filled with joy. Joy from the Lord, and I'm just so happy to be here and celebrate with this team. We have worked so hard for this moment, and I just want to soak it in all with them.
Well, and to be where your feet are is so important. It's something that your head coach has talked about all year. But after an 0-for-3 performance, you come away with a pretty dominant day, 3 for 3 at the plate. What was the approach today?
That's ball. You're going to have your days and you're not. Just sticking with my game plan and working really hard with Coach Miller, and the rest of us do the same. But there's never a doubt that you can have the worst day the day before and you can come out swinging so differently.
Hannah, for you personally, your coach was so happy to see you feeling this way this year. What has it been about Lincoln and this team that you felt so at home?
The culture. When I transferred, I was really looking for a place that felt like home. And I might get emotional talking about it, and I really love it here. These coaches give me the freedom to be exactly who I am. And these girls, there's nothing like it. I couldn't be more proud to represent Nebraska across my chest.
Go celebrate.
Absolutely, let's go!
What a moment for the Huskers and Hannah Core, who was a huge part of this as they reach their 8th Women's College World Series in program history.
Congratulations to the Huskers, able to make it back to OKC in Jordy Fromm's senior year as they all sing Delta Dawn on the field with their crowd.
Nebraska is moving on. 2 of the 8 spots are taken. Who will the other 6 be? Still a lot of softball to be decided today and tomorrow. Huge thank you to our entire crew, led by Todd Koulis and Eric Fry, my partner Jenny Dalton-Hill all season. It has been an absolute blast. I'm Chucky Kemp. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and the Women's College World Series. It starts in just 5 days.